It's no secret that wrestling fans are different than those so-called jabroni normal people. Wrestling fans are just plain better, although we do have some traits that separate us from normal society. That being said, let's get right to it. Here are 10 ways wrestling fans are different than normal people. Number 10. Chants. Sure, other fan bases have a few chants here and there, but only at a wrestling show will people chant just to chant. It's one thing to do a or a, but we are so extra we have to chant. It's ridiculous and unnecessary, and I love it. Number 9. Obscure references. Does this sound familiar? You're with a group of friends, or acquaintances if you're Carl, and you tell this perfect wrestling joke. Now I mean this killer joke that is by far your best achievement ever, like 300 gamer score good, and your friends just stare at you as the joke goes over their head like a missed buzzsaw kick. Don't feel bad. It's their fault for not watching all 16 hours of wrestling every week. Watch my videos. It's just not fair to Flair. Number 8. Making an elaborate entrance. One of the best things about being a wrestling fan is being able to drive your motorcycle into the office as Limp Bizkit plays in the background, then getting away with it because you're the wrestling person in the office. Just to be clear, that was a reference to the Undertaker's WrestleMania 19 entrance, and if you actually listened to Limp Bizkit in 2019, unsubscribe from my channel. We do not want you here. Now that all those bad people are gone. Number 7. Watching a WWE Studios film. Ask any person who isn't a wrestling fan. Now I mean any single one. Now I can guarantee you they have not seen any of the 12 round movies. Only a wrestling fan would watch a movie just because it has Dean Ambrose in it. It wouldn't even be a stretch to say that those movies only exist in the minds of people who watch SmackDown. So go ahead. Next time you go outside, ask any person, I mean any single person you see, if they know about the movie Vendetta. It was a 2015 movie starring The Big Show, but you already knew that. And I can 100% without a doubt guarantee you they will have no idea what you're talking about. Number 6. Comparing everything to wrestling. When your friend gets hit in the face with a Roman candle, is your first response to check them for burns? Or compare this to the time Jeff Hardy got hit with his own pyro? You're talking about Jeff Hardy, of course. Or even Matt, they both apply here. It's not your fault his dumbass got in the way of your fireworks. Wrestling fans never miss an opportunity to bring up wrestling. Like, do you expect me to watch Guardians of the Galaxy and not yell Bautista every time he comes on the screen? Number 5. Using wrestling catchphrases in everyday conversation. Oh, you didn't know? You've never been one of the millions of who didn't sell out, but rather bought into the best for business idea of saying to the scripture that is
Goes to 316. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
If you are too into word life to
Beat up John Cena!
then you are just a B+ player.
And you can't teach that!
Number 4. Marking out. If you have ever met a WWE superstar in person, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is one of the coolest experiences out there. It's exciting seeing a larger-than-life superstar that you've watched every week for years standing right in front of you. And even though we don't want to admit it, we mark out. But the weird part is that even though that these people are gods to us, most people don't even know who they are. For example, in high school, I was fortunate enough to meet Roman Reigns. It was life-changing. The next day, I was so excited to tell my friends. I thought they would be super excited, but instead they just stared at me blankly and said, "Who's Roman Reigns?" That still shocks me to this day. How could someone not know who Roman Reigns is? I guess wrestling fans are just cooler. Number 3. Doing the wrestling moves. Before I start this point,
be smart, be safe. Don't try this at home.
But seriously, if you try moonsault off a ladder, you are going to hurt yourself. You don't need me to tell you this. It's common goddamn sense. That being said, we've all tried the walls of Jericho. Or in my case, ran down a really long hall at a full-blown sprint and then gave the perfect Superman punch to a friend because they didn't know who Roman Reigns was. Number 2. Terminology. Even though most of us have never stepped foot in a wrestling ring, we still try to use the inside terms as if we are seasoned wrestlers who have wrestled every night for the past 40 years, rather than slightly out-of-shape fans who literally do not know how to lace up a pair of boots. We're all guilty of this. Even me. Watch my videos. We like to feel as if we are in the know in all the backstage secrets. It makes us feel closer to the action, as if we are putting on a show rather than they are putting on a show. And honestly, I like it. The WWE Universe is part of the show. It's pretty cool that we get to have our own language. Number 1. Being passionate. If there's one thing wrestling fans do better than those jabroni normal people, it's having the passion that comes with being a part of the wrestling community. Unlike other people, we don't just pick up a popular franchise and move on to another one when it stops being popular. No, we stick with it. Wrestling isn't some movie we like, it's part of our lives. Just take a minute to think about what your life would be like right now if you've never watched wrestling. Your life would be completely different. You certainly wouldn't be watching wrestling YouTube videos. You would probably be doing something lame with your pathetic non-wrestling life. But likely for you, you're not. You are living an amazing wrestling-filled life with a passion. And not all people can say that. Because of wrestling, we are able to live our best life. And that is what wrestling is all about. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below on why you are glad to be a wrestling fan. Like, share, and subscribe for weekly wrestling content. This is the Wrestling Informer on all things wrestling.